Everyone. All right, so I chose to do my presentation on the next 20 years, future predictions for education. Before I get into what I think is going to happen in the next 20 years, I thought it'd be important for me to talk a little bit about what are some things that are causing changes right now. And what I'm seeing that is having a tremendous impact in education are obviously, first thing is the internet. In the last 10 years, not only has it become more available through various providers, but it's also becoming more affordable, and that has and the fact that there's internet available to a lot of people now, and has allowed for uh, devices such as smartphones, tablets, Chromebooks to become extremely popular, extremely accessible, and extremely affordable. All three things necessary for something successful. Uh, so, with smart devices at the forefront, what we are seeing is that teachers are quickly are jumping on the chance of using these devices. I'm seeing it here in my district. Teachers are teachers that are 2 3 years away from retirement are wanting Chromebooks in their classroom just because they see the potential behind them. So they are taking classes on how to use them, and it's amazing. The kids, not only are the kids more engaged, but the entire classroom is transformed. I have students that this year who are constantly emailing me about something that they have a question on because we're using Google Classroom, and something that we didn't have 3 years ago when I first started teaching, and now it's a totally different classroom. All right, moving on. All right, so one thing, as I was mentioning before, is the Internet of Things. It's essentially this idea that everything is connected to the internet, and the fact that everything's connected to the internet is changing the way that students are consuming information. Now, when they come to the classroom, we don't necessarily have to front load the information. We can simply have them do it at home, which brings me to the next point, not this one. Uh, yes, this one. All right. So a few of my classmates have mentioned before that they've done flipped classroom. I've attempted it in the past, and one thing that I've seen that has one of the drawbacks or one of the major drawbacks with the flipped classroom is the fact that not everyone has access to reliable internet. Um, I can safely say that 99.9% of my students have a smart device, but that doesn't mean that they're able to go home and watch a YouTube video or access an article from home. Um, and it has to do with access to the internet. So one thing that I see in the future is a lot more classrooms are going to be flipped. So it's this idea that teachers assign a video or an article for students to access from home. They come back the next day. We talk about it. The students that understand it can go ahead and find enrichment through maybe a collaborative assignment, and the students who need help can work on a more personal level with the teacher, and that kind of opens up this idea that the students are driving their own education, which is necessary if we're going to be talking about a real 21st century classroom. Um, Moving on, two conversations I had today are were with two leaders in our school. One of them was with my principal. He he's been teaching for 30 years, or he's been in education for 30 years. Before that, he was an engineer. So he's very much passionate about technology, and although he sees a lot of potential with technology, he thinks that in order for real change to occur, the government kind of needs to step aside. My academic coach, though, I had a pretty lengthy conversation with him about this topic. He doesn't think that online education will become a thing, and I believe he kind of thinks that it's because of not enough access to reliable internet. But he does think that a flipped classroom is entirely possible in the next 2 decades. It's not something that's going to take over, but he does think that it's going to be something that becomes more and more popular in the next 20 years. What do I think? I think that our classrooms are we're quickly gonna throw out the textbooks. We're quickly gonna throw out this idea that a classroom exists only in a set room, and we're gonna adopt more of a hybrid type classroom. The classroom will be anywhere a student has access to the internet, a headset, and guidance. So with the kind of the introduction of virtual reality, we're going to be able to have classrooms that are connected to people from all around the world. I came across this video here. I won't play it now, but this video shows young kids working with virtual reality, and they're excited to be doing math. I've never seen so many kids excited about doing math, and that's something that excites me. Um, so I think in the next 20 years, in the year 2040, we're going to see a classroom that is completely driven through the use of virtual reality and a mixture of the two. So we have kids that are coming to school and kids that are maybe in a different country even, working with our own students. And that's something that's very exciting. All right, so that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching.